Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sinking Ship Simulator! My name is Steven Marcateros, and this episode we are going to be looking at all of the awesome contest submissions that we have received over the past few months. Well, I mean before January, from that time period between that one video where I said we were going to do the contest to the period where it ended. It was where I got those submissions, and those are what we are going to review today, because our inefficient little system of actually trying to decide and figure out things here at Sinking Simulator HQ went terribly wrong, and it's extremely inefficient, so don't ever really expect us to complete something that we set out to do. Now, I know that we're using Sinking Simulator it should be a point, I don't know, it's like full release, but, you know, whatever. We're on 1.2.5, I believe. We are on the release before we went to the new alpha. Which is an entirely different game, mind you. A lot of you guys were kind of wondering, is it a new game? Is it like an update to the current one? No, it's an entirely new game, entirely new engine, entirely new developer. And right now, I heard that we are sitting somewhere close to a new release of the alpha, somewhere which will put us with a whole new engine. Because you guys saw in the last one it was boxes. I mean, assuming you watched the new alpha come out, and the boxes didn't really work that well because it didn't give you the feeling of the kind of rigidity that we have here in this game. Of course, I shouldn't say we have rigidity here, because you'll see very quickly why rigidity in this game is merely just an illusion. And so we wanted to build something more rigid. We wanted to find something that would work a little bit better for us, and so we set out to completely redesign the engine. And Fred, our developer, Frederick Nieto, yeah, I think that's how I say it. I never know. They're all Frenchmen. Yes, I'm the only American. I feel I'm so disappointed, but yeah, as you can see, I mean, the smaller the ship, the more rigid it is in this game, but we really want detail. We love detail. People in our community, the Sinking Simulator community, I know it's an entire community now. It's like 30,000 of us here. Of course, not all 30,000 of us are here for the ship specifically, but we like to add detail. We like to really make our ships functional. We like to have purpose, and we like to see that purpose get destroyed. That what makes it. Oh god, my English today. That's what makes simulators interesting. That's what makes it. Oh, man, that's a mouthful. That's what makes simulators interesting. Something's wrong with that sentence, but detail and destroying that detail makes simulators interesting. There we go. Got it down in that sentence. But so yeah, contest submissions. Before I lose my mind trying to speak simple English sentences, we should probably load up some of that stuff that I said we would get to. Yes, it's found in some other folder that I had to transfer over from the other computer because of the reason that we got a new computer. I know, fancy. I'm looking over at it right now, looking at this nice Intel Core i7, this nice red fan, and the beautiful graphics card inside. I just want to pet it, but I also don't want to destroy it, so I'm just going to look at it through the window. The contest submissions were all sent in through email, and so I don't actually have the names of the people that these were sent in from. I have the email addresses, so I'm just going to read out the first part of your email, and people who sent them to me, yes, discretion advised. You might get email bombed from everybody watching this video, but, you know, you're welcome. That's the risk you took by sending in a ship to me. Yeah, it's like the one little disclaimer here. So from Kolbz, Colbz 0527, Kolbz 0527, he sent in 3 ships. The Andrea Doria, Carnival Dream, and the MS Quantum of the Seas, which we will look at right this second. So here is the Andrea Doria. Sorry, you guys are looking at that boring screen. I was actually looking at a file. Yes, it's a very small little ship, you know, very quaint, but very rigid, and I assume it will have decent sinking physics if I turn my settings to actually something a little bit realistic here. And his buoyancy was on like 8 or something, kind of ridiculously high like that. We turn it back down, we can actually see the ship sink. Real-time sinking! And this is kind of what I mean about the detail of the game. You can make your ships really small or really large, but the larger you make them, the more individual details you can put into them. And that's where things like AI and explosions and rigidity really come into play, because you have to be able to put in some sort of a scale factor with the game that makes sense, but doesn't also ruin it. And the scale factor in this game made it pretty small, and it made it really hard to actually make something interesting. And so we were kind of left to simple designs like this. And luckily to say, I'm absolutely terrible at simple designs like this. I am much better at building the big things because, you know, I like big. I'm American. Bigger is better. Although I will say a majority of my audience is American, so I guess not all of you think bigger is better. That's just kind of an individual thought of myself. So yeah, you know, that's maybe that's the Wisconsin view on life, that bigger is better. I mean, Wisconsin has got pretty big stuff. Don't take that literally, but yes. But we really like our cities large. We like our hamburgers large. I think at the local restaurant you can get I think a half pound or an entire pound of meat on your sandwich, and that's like a regular restaurant. I know we get like double quarter pounders and stuff, but I'm sure McDonald's all over the United States have that. And they're fantastic. Love it. I would also like to note out that our international audience apparently doesn't love us as much as our domestic audience here in the United States, because we only have like 20 views from China. But that's probably because they're communist and because they don't let their people watch my YouTube videos. And so that's fantastic. It's not a personal thing. It's just that China has a vendetta against freedom and Google. I'm sorry, China, if you're watching this video right now. I'm being insanely offensive to you. But shout out to all of my like 30 Chinese viewers and like my 2 Chinese subscribers. Yeah, you must be like the communist like regime that controls China or something. I don't know, but shout out to you guys. And there's like a couple thousand people in India that have watched, and just a lot of people in California in general. I think maybe a little under half of all my views comes from California. I mean, California is a really big viewer base. It used to be Wisconsin here, my home state, but it's moved. Let's move on to the next ship before I get caught up here, and this video takes about 3 days to complete. But look at this cruise ship. Look at all of the complex design that was put into the room features, and I actually think that looks pretty freaking sweet. I'd also like to say to all the people that made these ships, Colbs0527, I think I remember that right. Leave a comment below or email me or something, and I'll assuredly put these into the ship pack. Yeah, that thing's still going. The ship pack is still here. It's still Ooh, I just heard a puppy yip. Did you guys hear that puppy yip? It was like, yip. Well, it wasn't. It was like, yip. But, you know, you get the point. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, Colbs0527, other people that I'm about to show off. Be noted that if you post a comment or something saying who you are, obviously, because if I don't know who you are, then, I mean, I can't do it, because I'll be like, who are you? And then we'll get stuck into one of those comment chains where you don't reply for 4 months, and then by the time you actually reply to it, and then I have no idea what's going on. So just reply with your name, tell me that I can put it in the ship pack, and totally fine with that, and I will stick it in there, and then thousands of people will be able to download it. I wish I knew how many people had downloaded the ship pack, because then I could really give a statistic to how many of you really are addicted to this game, or just like to experiment with simulators and like destroying boats, I guess. You know, I think the FBI or the CIA is slowly going to start watching me, solely because what I'm most popular for on YouTube is essentially sinking boats. And I don't think that sinking boats is really in the best interests of the FBI or the CIA. You know, probably the NSA. The NSA has probably implanted bugs into my computer and my phone lines by now. It's all fancy. It's all fancy. I love empowering conspiracies of the American people. It really brings out that domestic side of us. Don't you just love that? Don't you just love being scared of the NSA? Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't buy it at all, but you know, it's fun to poke fun at all of you guys, because then in the comments you get to tell me messages about how many compartments that the Titanic had split open, because that debate isn't getting old already, and I still don't know how many compartments, because you guys keep giving me different numbers every single day of the year. And it's absolutely fantastic, because some people will say that the Titanic never really existed and was a spaceship, and another one of you will say that it was just a conspiracy theory that was eventually used to cover up the moon landing, which in turn fake 9/11. So yeah, that is the conspiracy theory surrounding my RMS Titanic video, which I will note was my first most viral video. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, that was an interesting ship. Let's go on to the MS Quantum of the Seas, sold by Colbs0527. This is his last ship submission. Technically, in this, I believe we were only supposed to allow 1 ship, but yeah, we kind of bent the rules, and then I bent the rules again by just completely kind of ending the contest on its own. So yeah, sorry about that. But you know, you all get your ship shown off. This guy just gets it first because it was in alphabetical order. So yeah, sorry about that. The cutoff rate is about, I mean, how many of you left by now? I think you know, like maybe like 70% of people who click on this video have gone by now. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, make sure all of you people who are still watching this video that if you like these ships, make sure you tell me which one is your favorite, because I love knowing which one's the favorite. And As far as name goes, I have no idea. Maybe I'll make some interesting graphic for you guys. No, I'm kidding. I won't. Yeah. You just gotta search back in the video for all the different ships, or maybe I'll in the description of the video when I upload it tomorrow, I will put a list of all of the different names that of the ships and the times they appear, so you guys will be able to look at that and not be extremely confused. But yes, this ship is kind of similar to the last one. It's a little bit sinky. It likes sinking, and most ships in this game like to either jiggle to death or sink with reasonable care. So yes, that was absolutely beautiful. I will let that sink as I load up the next contest submission person, Creeper Kid 09. And for some reason, his account looks very familiar, but maybe that's just because it's been here so long. So yes, this is his submission. It's called Oil Rig. And I see that I'm probably not doing something right, because that looked like it went down too far. Oil rig. How does an oil rig work? I have no idea, actually. Oil rigs are buoyant, aren't they? I didn't realize that until just about a minute ago. Wow, yeah. Oil rigs are buoyant, aren't they? Wow, that seems surprising. That seems like something I should have known, but I didn't. Very interesting. Actually, if they're not, then I look like the biggest idiot alive right now. And, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with that, because sometimes I can be pretty darn stupid, but sometimes I can be pretty darn smart, too. In recent Dodge Them All news, I am getting a microphone, a boom pole, external field recorder, XLR cable, SM3 shock mount. Everything's going to be fancy. I got my camera, I got lights, green screen, and I got people, otherwise known as Capital, and I am ready to go out and get some filming on, because that is going to be absolutely fantastic. For more stuff on that, make sure you do follow me on my Twitter, not the Dodge Them All Twitter that you guys constantly see notifications pushed of my videos, which gets admittedly annoying, and I kind of regret ever doing that. So you can follow me at my personal email, at Steven Marca. That'll be like flashing over the screen right now or something. I'll make sure to put that in editing. Yes, at Steven Marca. That's my actual personal email, where I post personal Twitter feeds or comments. And if you guys want to send me messages on there to tell me what's going on, you want to, you know, get a little bit onto that communication thing with me and not have to send me about 6 million Skype notifications, at Stardust01233 if you didn't know that. But if you do that, be warned. If you only talk about the Sinking Ship Simulator, I may not reply to your calls. Just saying. I do have a lot of people. I have like 400 contacts, and a lot of them just want to know about the Sinking Ship Simulator, and sometimes... This oil rig is really flipping over on its side. Sometimes it just gets a little bit too much, you know? Sometimes it's the one thing I'm really known for, and it's the one thing that kind of bothers me for being known for. So yeah, just be wary of that. Just say, hey, Steven, my name is Excelsior. I like your other videos. I actually don't like your Sinking Ship Simulator videos. I think that they're boring. Please make more Civilization 5, and I will go, yes, please call me over Skype. I would like to talk to you. And yeah, that will be plenty interesting. Not that I don't like this game. It's just that, you know, I've been covering this game for like, I think over a year now. Oh my god, it's almost been 2 years. Almost 2 years now. And it's just kind of sad to see this. The only thing I'm really recognized for, you know. And I'm sure you guys are just going to be mean to me and say, Steven, what do you think you're doing? This is what we want you to do forever. We never want you to make any other videos. And to that, I respond... no. And so our next submission is from DarksideBlue03 at somewhere. And he submitted a ship called Giantship. And it's a giant ship. I don't know what those are, but they kind of look like carrots. I'm also not very good at actually figuring out what things are. It happens to be a sole weakness of mine. Buoyancy. Go down, buoyancy. Go down. Seriously, buoyancy. Stop making ships fly through the air. I don't like it when you do that. Okay, yep. Yes, there we go. About 5. Yes, and look at this ship. It's very interesting, to say the least. It looks like it would not float in real life, but maybe that's just my opinion of this game. And I think I'm more skilled at saying what would or would not float in this game rather than real life, because I don't actually work in a dock, and I actually have no idea about designing of boats or anything. Yeah, so if you guys, if I one day become a boat designer because of this, I swear, you guys can all just really watch this video again and realize that I did something that really should never have happened. And yeah, because all of this was started, all of these videos were started because one day I was browsing on YouTube and I found this game and it looked interesting. Man, where I'd be today if I hadn't found this game randomly on YouTube, I have no idea, and I don't know if I want to know, because my life would be surprisingly. Now my father is using a blender. Wow, that is very interesting. I love it when he uses his blender like that. So yeah, just don't imagine that. This was an interesting ship. Like it, love it, list it. I don't know. I don't think that's right. In the last submissions are from Mr. Design It 27. Oh yeah, but they still kind of look a little bit the same, just a little bit different. So we'll look at the MS Lusitania II right here. Nice and small, nice and a little bit interesting design, kind of fancy. I kind of like it. Lots of different colors going on, a lot of flair, lots of complex window operations. I mean, who couldn't love complex window operations? They're it actually sounds like a process you'd have on a Windows operating system, but surprisingly it's not. It's actually a lot less interesting than that. But yes, look at it tear itself apart and sink to the ground, because that's what we like doing in this game. Oh, yeah, I kind of just killed it there. But, yeah, that's that ship. Look at it. It's getting torn apart. It's getting torn to pieces. Don't you guys love that? I know, I love it. I absolutely love watching ships sink in this game. It's still beautiful. 2 years of playing this game, I still find this game to be incredibly fascinating. I just wish it worked a little bit better, because whenever I try to build a ship, whenever I spend hours building ships, they always seem to never work. But maybe that's just because I'm way too, I build things way too big for this game. And our last submission is called the MS Titanic II, but I already own the Titanic II, so it's going to be, well, it's the MS Titanic II. It's not the RMS, it's just the MS. So yeah, it doesn't really combat my Titanic II or my Titanic 3. Oh, please don't ever watch that video again. Yes, and nothing will ever beat the Unsinkable 2. That ship is it has a place in my heart, and nothing will ever fill it. I mean, maybe besides a significant other, maybe they'll fill that place for the Unsinkable 2, and then the Unsinkable 2 will be like, it'll be like my best friend from the past, you know, and I'll remiss my old days about it with the Unsinkable 2. It'll be like, Unsinkable 2, I remember the day where you were my boat of choice, where you sank and you got pretty darn popular, but you never really made it to the fan special. Well, you did make it to the fan special, but you weren't the highlight of the fan special, and the fan special beat you, but I just remember when you were the most popular, when everyone loved you. And yes, I do remember that day. I do remember recording the Unsinkable 2 video because it was enlightening. It was lovely. It's absolutely fantastic. And truly, I love recording these videos with you guys. It's always great fun to record this video because it appeals to a much larger audience than my normal subscriber base. Instead of only 500 to 1,000 people, this applies to thousands of people, and I feel like I have to talk to a much broader audience and serve a much broader audience of people, so it's very fun to talk about everything that's going on with all of you guys. I mean, I never get this cooperation anywhere else on the channel, to be completely honest, and it's absolutely fantastic to see you guys all coming together on one thing and enjoying it, and, you know, occasionally fighting over how many compartments were burst on the Titanic. I mean, come on, guys! Can we not just search Wikipedia or something for it already? Okay, calm down there for a second, Steve. Go back to sinking ship, and then go to sandbox 1.25, build somewhere in some date. That looks way too complicated for me to understand. And I will show you guys the two ships I built for you personally very quickly, because they weren't very good, and they both like to self-destruct. Here is the RUSS. Is this the Royal Lancer? I think this is the oh god, it just said RMS. Yes, it's the SS. Actually, it's not even the USS. Oh, it is the USS. USS Regal Lancer, which is a ship which likes to self-destruct. Yes, I even tried taking out a very large portion of its passenger bay and placed it with air, but that didn't really help. Not that I thought it would. I just thought it looked ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, the times, man. I spent like an hour and a half on this ship. And to watch it just crumble to pieces like that, I almost cried, but I didn't. I maintained my composure and said, you know, I'm going to build another ship. So then I went back to GIMP 2 point something, and I said, I'm going to build another ship, and I'm going to name it after a flash drive. And so I did. I built the USS Kingston. Actually, no, Kingston's a company. They make flash drives. They also make RAM. Yeah, fantastic company. I love Kingston. They made the RAM in my old computer, the HyperX stuff. Yeah, 8 gigs. Fantastic. Yeah, Kingston. Oh, I even own a flash drive from Kingston. Yeah, I do own a flash drive from Kingston. Fantastic. I don't know why I'm naming my corporations after boats now, but I guess it's a popular theme. But yes, this thing works. It's like a very simplified version of the Unsinkable 2 in essence. So I wasn't insanely proud of it. I just kind of like, you know, it kind of looks like something I've built before. And to be honest, it didn't have a whole lot of detail going on in it. which is completely normal for stuff that I build. I try to put the detail in it. See, I like to make the big designs, the big clunky designs, but it's really you guys which build the much nicer, the much more complex, and the much more simplified items. And it's fantastic to see such a community, such interested. Wow, my English today. It's nice to see a community so interested in trying to be so diverse and trying to build something that is truly unique. Well, I mean, we are basing most of these ships off of other things. I'm going to be completely honest here. Not a lot of them are original. But it's super fun to see all of your random ships. Even the big clunky ones, the giant goose ship that we see, the rectangle that basically dubstepped itself to death. It's nice to see a community that makes up its own words and that will do anything to see the advancement of a game. And it's nice to see a community which empowers itself. We are like our own Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe in our case. We are a community of people that come together to make something that was made in the past even better. And I really hope that Frederick Nieto and Francis Frasico can come together with me on this and finally get us all an alpha, which all of us have been waiting for an incredibly long time, because it will be so inspiring and so amazing to see a project like this take hold after 2 years of time. So, without further ado, that is everything I'm going to go over in this video. Thank you guys for watching so much. It is absolutely incredible to have this community after 2 years, and over 30,000 of you are now subscribed to see my everyday activities. Well, not every day, but, you know, whatever. Don't want to ruin my outro, because that would be rather uninspiring. So yes, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time!